I wonder, like when they say, "Well, let's put the MMA gloves on Floyd Mayweather." How would Floyd wear? How would he weather certain storms? How would he be able to handle? This dude is one of the most defensive geniuses. He's
He
one of
not.
the most
He
defensive
he not
geniuses.
weathering.
He's one of the most
Hey, look,
defensive geniuses in the world.
look,
Could he weather
Yeah,
that
he, but
hey,
storm?
look.
he ain't
Punching.
get kicked in his knee though.
This one thing I gotta say about Floyd.
All right, into the last Dragons, we're back, man. We had a quick part two. I wanted to keep that first one real short, man, but my boy added another layer of discussion that we're about to get cracking. I'm gonna ask the question one more time. My boy CJ has joined the call. CJ, introduce yourself before, so the Dragons know you've been on the show before,
Yeah,
in the
I'm
last Dragons. But go ahead and tell them who you are, what you do.
Yeah. I'm Charles Johnson. I'm MMA professional MMA fighter out of St. Louis, Missouri. And I do it all basically. So
There you
I'm
go.
in
Who you
Thailand
fighting?
right
What
now.
camp you fight out of?
I'm in Thailand right now, fighting out of Tiger Muay Thai.
Dope. So I'm gonna ask the question one more time, man. So Michael Jai White, and if you need to see the clips, let me know. I'll show you the clips. So Michael Jai White had made a statement a couple years back about that. Someone asked him, was like, if Bruce Lee was fighting someone he wouldn't want no parts of, and he was like, me. And so the fight world went out, of course, went crazy. Like, how dare Michael Jai White make those statements? They went crazy, but Michael Jai's like, dude, the dude was a $132. I weigh 230 something pounds. He don't want to see it from me. He don't want it, and it caused a lot of dialogue. He got a lot of backlash, and it caused a lot of dialogue. I want to hear your honest opinion. What's your fighter's opinion about that statement from Michael Jai White?
I feel like the only reason he would say that is because he got weight on him as far as like kilograms, pounds. But outside of that, from a competitive standpoint, I don't really see where he would be too much better than I know more about Bruce Lee than I do Michael J. White. So to be honest, I know more about like what he's established in as far as his martial arts, but not. I mean, I don't know what all Michael J. White has done as far as competing goes. So we
He was
know
a he a
Bruce Lee
kick
was
he was
more
a
than just an actor.
kickboxer, and he did a lot. He got some video. He kind of like I can't say he's a Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan the kickboxer accolades too. He's a he is a true fighter. I'll say it like that. It's T Perry. Is that a fair statement from Michael Jai White? Even though he's an actor, he's a true fighter, right? Is that a true statement? You think, is that fair? I think he's a true fighter.
I'm
You
not
put the
sure. I never seen him fight, and it's 2020. So I'm pretty sure if I look it up, I might be able to find something. I just never really seen him fight. So
I feel that. So Ted, let's jump to you, and I'm gonna jump to T Perry next. If you brought up in the conversation earlier, actually T Perry brought up in the conversation earlier, the evolution of the fighter. But Bruce was ahead of his time. If we put Michael Jai White back in Bruce's time, what would the fight be like? But what if we brought Bruce Lee up to this time? What's your honest opinion? What's your thoughts then? Does the fight change? Is it a different conversation?
Yeah, I would say the fight would change, because like you said, the evolution of a fighter has happened. Like but again, like you said, it's Lee. So, go ahead.
I was gonna say, T Perry, what do you think?
I mean, if we're putting Bruce, if we're fast tracking Bruce to this time,
Fast track. He brought up.
no, Bruce doesn't. No, because that's like and one of the case in points I'll make is, look, when Hoist first got when the UFC first jumped off and Hoist won, he was wrecking everybody that got to the ground with him. Now fast forward when he comes back into what we consider the modern day, and he hops in there with Matt Hughes. He got his ass beat.
It was a different conversation, right? It was a different conversation. I so
but doesn't that look different though? Because Hoist wasn't striking, right? I mean,
No,
like,
but that's what I'm saying. Matt Hughes wasn't really striking him like that either. Matt Hughes was a wrestler, but in wrestling, Greco, whatever the case may be, whatever was getting in a grappling situation with Royce Gracie at the beginning, they was not standing a chance. Now, when he fights Matt Hughes when he comes back in the modern day, Royce, he had nothing to offer Hughes on the ground.
The thing is, even if you fast forward today, the only thing that changed about Bruce Lee is probably like, cause he was already like on like he had like
a higher level.
he was on like hemp and like weed and stuff. Like in his spare time, he'll like have like weed in his mouth and stuff, hemp in his mouth. But like when it comes to like what he knew as far as martial arts, the dude knew like boxing, fencing, jiu-jitsu, wushu, kung fu, judo. He knew all these different martial arts and how to put them together. And he actually blended the style. So he was, in my opinion, before like the first Olympic, like that's when like when Olympics was like way back before modern Olympics. It was pancration, and that's when it was like people fighting, like what UFC is now, right? And so, if you want to put anybody that would come into the modern day MMA from before MMA became mainstream, and be Bruce Lee, because I feel like he would have represented his country. It'd be an Olympic sport, you know. So Michael J. White, he seems like he's more like I mean, yeah, Bruce went on to be like an entertainer like Michael J. White, but like I don't know, I think the only thing that would change with Bruce is like the way that he would come to training. Like you got CBDs, you got different type of ways to train now, different, like people know more about the science of the body, you know.
Dude,
so
that's
he'd probably be stronger.
That's the crazy part, CJ. You brought that in. So Bruce Lee did something. This is how to the next level his mind was. He didn't want to perspire to look good on camera, so he removes his sweat glands from his underarm.
Yeah, he got rid of his sweat glands and his armpits.
Bruce Lee, crazy.
Yeah,
Removes the sweat
he didn't want to
glands.
sweat. He didn't want to sweat. He didn't want to sweat from his armpits. So maybe he sweat a lot. Maybe he had like funky perspiration. I don't know, but they said that it was an aesthetic thing. It wasn't something that was needed. So
but that's what I'm saying. That's the business mind. You were dealing with a very smart guy. And I was telling them, CJ, you could give me this. Maybe you may be able to back up a statement I made. You could back this up. I feel like fight IQ is more important than the art for the person that's getting into the ring. If you have a better fight IQ, you know how to beat your opponent. What do you think about that?
I think it go hand in hand. Like the thing about, we can say fight IQ, but the thing about Bruce was like he punched 2,000 times a day. Like he did punch 2,000 times a day.
So you're saying he rep, right? That practice.
His repetition, his mindset to continue to stay consistent. Part on top of that, the dude was a multitasker. He could like read a book, lift weights, and watch TV at the same time. That don't mean he doing them all well, but what I'm saying is he knew how to juggle things and also get things done, you know? So when it comes to fight IQ and also it comes to the martial arts side of it, he's going to be everything that he needs to be. Cause,
I feel like there are certain fighters, they talk about Floyd Mayweather having such a genius fight IQ for his sport, meaning like he knows how much defense and how to wear opponent down. Kind of like the Muhammad Ali was the fight IQ genius when he wore down George Foreman. And there's other fighters to this day that you could be like, hey, I can name these fighters who has this IQ above the others. I just feel like it's extremely important. The art is definitely important, but I've noticed that I feel like it's so much more important where kind of what T. Perry just said, bruh, Hoist was whooping everybody, but when the knowledge wasn't there. But when the
Do
knowledge,
you want to know who? Do you want to know who represents that right now in MMA?
who is that? With the fight IQ or
Who's
with
the
the
only,
sports?
who's the only undefeated fighter
Well,
right now?
I count two.
Only undefeated champion right now.
I count two.
Well, yeah. Not named John Jones.
Oh, Khabib.
Khabib. Yep.
Like when it comes to grappling, and when it comes to what he does, his repetition, his mindset towards it, he miles ahead of people. People just now catching on to what he's doing, they still can't stop it because he's been doing it
Wrestling bears
for so long. He knows wrestling, he knows Greco, he knows all these forms of grappling, and he chains them together. And that's his fight IQ when it comes to grappling. When you get in the cage, he's just now learning how to strike.
That's crazy.
So like he just now in the last couple of years getting better at striking. In the last 2 years, he getting better, But like, bro, he just coming there and using his fight IQ and his repetition. Like, and then you look at John Jones. If we do want to include John Jones in that, he's the same thing, repetition, same thing, but he's more well-rounded, and he doesn't necessarily choose one way to beat people. It's a different weight class as well. You can
say
take
that
advantage
again.
of things.
CJ, say that again. He doesn't choose just one way. How important is that as a fighter? He doesn't choose just one way. Explain what you mean by that.
It's important to be able to switch it up, because if you meet somebody, if you excellent at taking somebody down and ground and pound, you meet somebody who know how to stop a takedown, you're gonna be lost. If you a stand-up guy and you don't know how to defend getting taken down to the ground, who know how to take everybody down, and you're not that good at getting up, what's your point of being a stand-up fighter? So you got to be willing to put yourself in uncomfortable. That's what we say as fighters. And they say it about other things too. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You say that, a lot of wrestlers, coaches say that too. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. You say it in jiu-jitsu. I don't know if they say it in other sports as much, but the first time I really started paying attention to that was wrestling. And,
Let me tell you how crazy the sport is and how it's evolved. In boxing, as an amateur boxer, winning Golden Gloves, I can tell you on a basic level, when I fought a southpaw for the first time and not knowing how to fight a southpaw, I took that L. And the sport in general of even just MMA has evolved. So that people can understand this, I'm gonna ask a fighter. I'm gonna ask everybody on the phone who may know on the Zoom call that may know. But think about your stance and how important your left foot versus your right foot being up, and the fact that you switched your stance, or the fact that you're dealing with a fighter who is meeting your jabs. Understanding that takes your fight knowledge to a whole nother level, because it's different if you prepare for it, right? You know who you're fighting against. But if you're on the streets and you're like, oh, I'm about to go against a southpaw, you might know some things that the normal person might not know. Am I making any sense? You see where I'm coming from, where I know if I have my lead left foot out if I'm fighting as a regular orthodox fighter, or if I got my right foot out and I switch it up and I just change to southpaw, you have taken that person who's I know how to take down people from this side. I'm very comfortable taking out people. He just moved to the other side. He just messed me up, or I'm getting jabbed from a different side. Does that make sense? Y'all see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Getting whooped on from a different side is completely different. What I'm trying to explain.
Mm-hmm.
T. Perry, have you ever encountered or seen what's your feelings on just smart fighters in general? What's your thoughts
on smart fighters?
I'm just bringing the fight IQ up, the part where it's just like these people it just seems like I look at John Jones. I look at John Jones as a great example of that.
Yeah, I feel like it's very important. It's just like with CJ, kind of CJ was pointing out, having to understand and being well-rounded enough to be able to finish fights in different ways. You know what I'm saying? You can't have yourself being caught off guard. And that's why I agree with CJ with your fight IQ and your skill needs to go hand in hand. You know
Would you think that? Would
what
you
I'm saying? You
think?
can have all the tools, but if you don't know how to apply them,
Well, how would Bruce Lee look when he put the boxing gloves on? He couldn't kick or do anything else. What do you think? Is his fight IQ enough to handle a boxer?
I don't because he knows boxing. I would say he could have some sort of success, but at the same time, if your base involves a lot of kicking, you take that away. I mean, like Conor McGregor had a little bit of success, but at the same time, that's a different argument because we can argue like Floyd carried him for all that time. But
Tap, welcome to the call. We talking about multiple conversations when it comes to fight IQ. Talking about just in general that evolved conversation. I'm gonna let Ted get some statements in real quick. Ted, what's your feelings about fight IQ in general? If you had to imagine Bruce Lee fighting kind of like a Conor McGregor situation, Floyd Mayweather, if he put the gloves on, how you think would he be smart enough to handle himself? Could he prepare enough to handle a professional fighter?
Yeah, I would venture to say yes, just because like if he's already, I mean, it's not like he hasn't fought before, right? I mean,
Right.
yeah, the rules have changed to agree, but I mean, if Bruce has just been a study of fighting in and of itself, he probably ought to be familiar with, what the rules are. As far as like professional, go back and forth. Like it's almost like Bruce is like Batman, right? Like it's how much prep time are we talking, right?
How
Like
much
how much
prep
time did
time,
he have?
right? Yeah.
How much prep time does he have? Because like it's one thing to be able to, be able to handle yourself like either Perry or Charles were saying, like out on the street, and or like you were saying, like somebody that doesn't know anything, but somebody that's been doing this their whole life. And though you may be well versed with it and may have done it from time to time, but if I'm used to being able to kick and I can't kick anymore, that's a complete, that's a 180, what I'm used to conditioning. So, I don't know. I think that's a tough call, man. I think there's just a lot of other variables we would have to consider before just saying like, if you're just throwing him in the ring, like, like, he's taking a week notice. Yeah, I feel like it could be challenging.
That's what but that's and Tap, I'm gonna let Tap come in on some of this too. But I wonder, like when they say, well, let's put the MMA gloves on Floyd Mayweather. How would Floyd how would he weather certain storms? How would he be able to handle? This dude is one of the most defensive geniuses. He's one of the most defensive geniuses. He's one of the most defensive geniuses in the world. Could he weather that storm?
He ain't get kicked in his knee though.
This one thing I gotta say about Floyd. Floyd can do whatever he want to do. I feel like if he chose to be an MMA fighter, he would do great because he wouldn't fight at 140. He would fight at 135 or 125. And he fought the little dude from Asia, Knock or whatever, in boxing and made him look silly. Throwing little glove, the best Olympic wrestling coaches he wants. He can learn wrestling. MMA takedown defense is different than regular takedown wrestling defense. And once you can touch somebody, and
so you saying young Floyd?
I'm saying Floyd right now. If he chose to get into MMA, if he chose to get into MMA, he would end up fighting. It would take him. I think it would take him about a year and a half.
Okay,
which is the same thing. This is the same thing that I think Clarissa Shields is gonna do. But I think it's gonna take him it would take him about a year and a half.
Y'all hear it right here in the last dragon.
If he chose to do it, but I don't think he plans on doing that. I don't think that's gonna happen because the money just ain't it. But if he wanted to prove something to himself, I would never ever say that he couldn't do it because that man already proved that he could do what.
We talk about Floyd Mayweather versus Bruce Lee. Is that the question?
No. Roy's coming up with these hypotheticals.
I'm like, what?
If he dropped, so the original question was if we had dropped Bruce Lee in a professional boxing, right? In a professional boxing situation, how would Bruce fare? And then Charles was saying that, and then Roy threw out, what about Mayweather? And Charles was saying, and like right now, if Mayweather like a year and a half to do MMA, he could do it, no problem.
Okay.
All right, so
you saying Floyd to do some jiu-jitsu and wrestling for a full year and a half with the best coaches. Don't tell me he ain't gonna come out there and be able to keep somebody off him with his hands, with his footwork, and touch somebody up.
I don't deny.
I'm fairly new in the Muay Thai realm, but I see you got a Muay Thai beast on this podcast over here, man. That man Charles, he's a Muay Thai man, ain't he?
Beast, man. He a beast.
Right,
man.
right.
Beast is an understatement, man.
You think Floyd can catch one of them well, man?
Nobody gonna catch them kicks well. He gonna move his feet. He got ring general. He one of the best ring generals you ever seen fight. He know how to move his feet.
He can't move that thigh out the way though. He can't get.
But once he understands the distance that it takes between getting kicked as opposed to getting punched, he gonna adapt to that. Like, man, I don't put nothing past him. I don't put nothing past him.
So my thing is this: people need to stop acting like Floyd Mayweather is not one of the most, if the best mind and the best preparer for competition. We need to stop acting like that. If Floyd was going to jump in the MMA,
he's not an old James Toney though, bro. Like James Toney was fat, old, and out of his
exactly.
Stop.
Exactly.
Stop. James Toney was a beast. James Toney was a beast.
No. But when he fought MMA, he ain't have enough time to prepare.
Yeah.
He jumped in there thinking he was finna do.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
So
Who's gonna jump in there and just knock Randy out, and that ain't what happened.
And the person he went in there with is not the person it's not gonna go that way.
I haven't seen, honestly. Since we're on the topic, I haven't seen any excellent boxers fare well at MMA that come from boxing backgrounds. I've seen some wrestlers fare well. I've seen some Muay Thai background MMA guys fare well. Even I just haven't seen anybody who's just strictly a boxer that
I kind of feel like you
MMA that did well all the way up until now.
Cody got a decent boxing background.
Who?
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor started boxing when he was 9. Conor McGregor started boxing when he was.
But didn't he do Taekwondo too, though?
That's what he started with, boxing when he was 9.
I thought he did some TKD too, though. But I don't know.
He was in the boxing gym until about like his teenager, and then he started to get into MMA.
All right, well, I'll take that.
Oh my God! So hold on, Dragons. Dragons. I gotta put this out here. So
the principle I'm talking is that longest weapon nearest target. That's one of Bruce's principles, right? Longest weapon nearest target. That long ass Muay Thai leg to that right thigh, that boxer, and I don't think he's moving too much.
Well, that's the fight IQ, right? So that's the fight
IQ.
Look,
I got one for you. Since you want to throw out hypotheticals, the person right now, the best boxer right now that I think is 2. But the best boxer has a chance to come in to make a really strong impact and without having too much of a learning curve because of the weight class is Tyson Fury. Second is Lomachenko. Tyson Fury, because heavyweights, they have niches. They're like good wrestlers, good judo guys, good hands, whatever. Tyson Fury can walk in right now and be a problem. Lomachenko will have a lot to learn. Now, he knows wrestling, and I don't know what he's working in his free time, but if you want to talk about a boxer in the next 5 years that might transition, Lomachenko.
How old is Bud Crawford?
Crawford got his kids in wrestling, but I don't know if he gonna. I don't know where his head at because he can do it too.
I seen a
video
of Lomachenko doing some kickboxing drills and stuff though. It looked pretty good too.
That's what I'm saying. Crawford is a wrestler. Crawford
it's a few boxes.
I can see Loma doing it.
They talking about it. We gonna see though.
Okay, so Dragons out here. If you had to right now, you're watching this video. If you could post a comment, please tell me who you would like to see matched up with, because I think that's what this conversation has evolved to. Everyone has always put Bruce out to be which I think he has done exactly what he was supposed to do for the art. So I'm a person who don't believe in bashing dead people. I'm a person believing in praising them up. Bruce has definitely been a beast for what we can see on the acting side. We don't know what he can do professionally as a fighter. It'll always be unknown. But what I can say he has done is fire people like everyone on this phone call. So, with that being said, is there any person other than Bruce? Can we throw Wesley Snipes in that conversation?
You say anybody person other than what was the question?
Is there anybody other than Bruce Lee that we can put on that evolved conversation? Can we throw Wesley Snipes in the conversation as a actor who would be just as a higher level regard in the fighting ring, that people would be like, Wesley Snipes might be able to get down and do some things?
But, okay, so this is the question: is what actors can you think can actually get down in
That's the question. That's
Scott
the question.
Adkins.
Got it. Scott Adkins.
Scott
Scott
Adkins.
Adkins has some feet. Yeah.
Anybody?
Scott Adkins might be.
Hey,
kicking
what
some ass.
about your boy, Benny the Jet Rodriguez? Did he actually fight?
Yeah, he was a fighter first. He was a fighter mostly. Benny the Jet Arquez, Meals on Wheels.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a fighter mostly, man. So he only did like that scene with Jackie Chan, Meals on Wheels.
But that's Michael Jai White, dude. That's Michael Jai White's coach, so that don't count. I think he's a true fighter. That don't count, man.
He's
No,
more
well,
fighter
there you
than
go.
actor.
You can't count
Yeah,
Benny.
yeah.
You can't count Benny, man.
Way
That's
to
Michael
go.
Jai White.
Ted Hackett. He's more fighter than actor.
Okay.
I can't think of no actors that's
Jackie Chan? No Jackie? We're not throwing Jackie in there?
he old
yeah,
as
yeah.
hell. No.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really trying to think. No. Let me see.
Wait, no Jackie at all.
A young Jackie.
Young Jackie.
Young Jackie, yeah. So
Wesley.
What about the dude that played
young Jackie was a
Homicide?
problem.
Dude who play what?
That played
I mean, he's
Homicide?
That's playing no.
Have y'all seen The First Never Back Down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judgment Hansu?
Yeah, him.
Oh yeah. No, but what about the villain in The First Never Back Down? I thought he actually had some hands.
Yeah, Cam Giganot.
Yeah, I think he's actually trained.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the dude that fights Michael Jai White on his movie? What's his name? Yorga? What's his name? Boyka? What's his name?
Scott Adkins, Teddy
the white-
Yeah, it's Boyka. That's
Yeah,
Scott
Boyka,
Adkins.
yeah.
Boyka. Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Way
He a
ahead
fighter?
of you, Roy. Way ahead.
Is he a fighter?
I don't know what he is.
No, I think I don't know if he's a fighter, man. I think he's just got an extensive.
Hey.
What about
it's
what's
true.
his name? The transporter, Jason Statham.
You think he got hands?
I put John Wick before him.
Yeah.
get out of
Hey,
here.
I think
Nah,
Keanu,
hell nah.
I'm
Hell
with
nah.
Keanu, man.
Nah,
Keanu
John Wick-
started
John
training
Wick
in the
told-
Matrix and never stopped, man. He's been
Hey.
training since the
No.
first Matrix, so
Tap.
that's a minute now.
Keanu just old, man. He just too old.
Keanu might
I mean,
be able to hold
they
it
just
down,
gave
man.
Keanu some MMA for John Wick.
Hey,
man.
we're gonna treat it like
Play those.
basketball. It's gonna be like a 45 and over league.
You gotta be at least a blue belt or something, man. Like,
John Wick cold, dude. Keanu been going
But
hard.
look. I think Keanu is definitely. He gonna be dedicated. He don't look like he know what he's doing for sure. He
Okay,
just
so
dedicated.
what about
when he was
Tony
training.
Who?
What'd you
I
say?
was about to say him, Tony Jaa.
Tony
Tony
Jaa.
Jaa. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
Tap. What was
Nah,
old boy's name? What was old boy's name that did the capoeira for Eddie?
Oh, he's talking about Lateef Crowder.
Lateef Crowder.
Lateef Crowder probably pretty dope. Y'all don't know who that is?
I don't know him.
Nah.
He was in
Oh,
The
something
Protector, the Tony Jaa movie.
Yeah, in the Tony Jaa movie, The Protector, the capoeira dude that he fought. He's also been a
I saw the
stuntman.
dude. I saw it, but I don't know him.
He was
I-
a- he was
He's
the
the
dude-
Mandalorian. He's the stuntman for the Mandalorian right now.
yeah.
He's also the model for
One
Eddie-
of
Eddie off of
Tekken
Tekken.
and Eddie
Who-
Gordon of a few Tekkens.
Who is that fighter on the Rage, or what is it called? The
Raid.
The Rave. Who is that fighter, dude?
Iko Uwais.
I feel like he should be able to get down.
him and
I mean,
I don't know.
I can see like
I don't know. I never heard of most of these dudes, man.
He's like, I only know real fighters.
This like one of those conversations.
I don't
These
know
like one of those
actors.
conversations you got with your pops, you know, and he's talking about, and I'm like, hold on, pop, I gotta look this dude up.
Hey, the
Now,
dude he
back
fought
in
in
my
the
day-
first
back
race
in
supposed to
my
be
day,
cold too, though.
We went to Blockbuster. You know what
Oh,
I know
man.
that. Look. I know the character Eddie Gordo. I know the character.
Right. Dude, hey, real
We
talk.
dropping
Yeah,
names,
y'all
man.
dropping. I was like,
Oh no, you know who was an actor that can fight is Chuck Norris.
No,
Yeah.
boo.
Hey man,
Boo.
don't-
I mean, he
Don't-
was in the Olympics for karate.
the earth is
Chuck
spinning
Norris-
because of
Chuck
Chuck
Norris
Norris.
is,
We just understand that.
Actually, he's
The only
a
reason why the
Tang
earth is
Sudo
spinning is
champion,
because of
he's
Chuck
a
Norris.
fighter, dog.
Boo. Hey,
Hey,
I
Chuck
know
Norris got hands in real life.
I
dude.
know
Back in the
it.
day.
I'm not
Chuck
knocking
Norris
it.
had a whole combat league.
I'm not
Dude.
knocking it. I'm not
You ever
knocking it.
hear Chuck Norris's comments on Return
I'm
of
not
the Dragon?
knocking it, man. I'd rather highlight Jim Kelly.
Because he know Walker's Texas Ranger wouldn't support Black Lives Matter.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. That's it, man.
Sorry.
That's it. That's my reason, man. That's my reason. All right, so I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna let y'all get y'all last. This is my last and final. I'm gonna have to challenge everybody right now, and you only get 2. So usually I haven't done this in a while,
Okay.
but everybody right now gets a top 2. A top 2. We're gonna go off of top 2 video games and top 2 movies. We're gonna keep it fictional. Top 2 video fighting games and top.
Oh my
2
God. I can't
Top
do
2
this.
video games.
I can't do
Top
this.
2 movies. Top 2
We
video
talking about
games.
fighting?
Top 2 movies.
Fighting?
Fighting video games, fighting movies. Top 2 video games, fighting movies. And we're gonna
My favorite.
top 2
All right, I'm
video
a little-
games and top. And I'm
No,
wait,
because CJ gonna take my.
I'm a little biased. I'm a little biased.
Can't do movies.
I don't want to hear nothing. Y'all better be
I'm
thinking this in
biased.
your head. I'm gonna let you
I'm a
go
biased.
first. You want to go first? You want to go?
That's cool.
CJ first. Top 2 video games.
I'm
top
just
2
gonna say mine. I don't care if they. I want to say mine. I'm just gonna do video games first, okay? All right. Tekken and Street Fighter.
No MK. No MK yet. Okay, MK.
It's no,
Okay.
like for me, I never really played Mortal Kombat as much as I played Street Fighter growing up, and then like I became Mortal Kombat recently because it's just more fun to play, and but it's Street Fighter, and it's definitely, if we talking about like fighting games, I mean you
Capcom.
could go to like boxing.
Capcom.
I ain't gonna keep going. I'm gonna let them say that, but like
All
you know,
right,
you got
so we on
different,
video
you got
games
different
right now.
boxing
We only doing
games.
video games.
So,
All right.
T Perry.
So
T Perry.
okay, so I'm with CJ on this. I'm with Tekken and Street Fighter, and I played Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Virtua Fighter, Killer Instinct, all of those. And I'm with CJ on Tekken and Street Fighter.
Ted, you
What
up?
was the name? What was the name on the Sega? The game on Sega that had
Virtua Fighter.
Evander Holyfield.
Virtua Fighter.
Evander
Virtua
Holyfield.
Virtual Fighter.
Virtua
No,
Fighter.
Evander Holyfield.
Oh no, I don't know about that one.
Oh.
Nah, this one had Evander Holyfield on it. I played that.
It's
on
probably
man.
actually EA boxing game though. That's the only thing I'd see.
Yeah.
Ted, you up? Teddy, who you got?
And this is like any fighting game.
I can't do this.
Top 2 fighting games, man.
Yeah. Fight night.
But there's different types of
Yeah,
games.
dude,
Like,
We got top 2. Top
are
2.
we talking about like beat 'em ups, or
Top
are we talking
2.
about, are these being counted?
top
Like-
2.
Right.
Yeah,
Wait.
Is this
Are
like
these
boxing
1-on-1?
or-
Top 2, man.
Right,
Or they-
right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
We
it's
have
Right.
limited
You gotta
time,
narrow it
y'all.
down.
The
You gotta narrow it down.
the sand in the hourglass is going down. Come on.
You gotta
y'all.
narrow it down, Roy.
I
right.
ain't
We
trying
got.
to hear that.
I need a
ain't trying to hear that.
definition. I need a
ain't trying to hear that.
definition.
Y'all
I need
about
a
to
definition.
default. Are y'all defaulting? Are y'all on default right now? Y'all default?
I mean, if we keeping it like, I get fighting. Like, that's no like. There's no variables. Like, all right, just so I'm gonna throw a
Just
scene in.
answer,
That's
man.
fine.
Just
That's
give
fine.
Roy something because
I'm gonna throw it up. I'm gonna throw it all the way up. All right, I'm gonna give you Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time.
Okay.
Arcade.
Capcom. Yeah. Oh yeah. All the way.
Capcom verse.
The Capcom versus.
Woo!
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel
or
vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Capcom versus Street Fighter 2.
That's two games. That's 2 games that I played for sure. I mean, listen, I could have went Mario Smash Brothers on you. Heard me? So like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, we could have said
like that's why I was like,
We can
That's
say
why I was
two
like-
Mike
cool
Tyson
dudes.
Punch Out.
We can say a whole bunch.
Oh, Streets
Hey,
of Rage. Ooh.
Mike Tyson Punch Out would have been beast mode too. I mean, go ahead, Tap you up.
Oh man,
We ain't even
Hey,
got the movie.
I'm with. I like Tekken and Street. I'm playing Tekken to this day. I'm playing Tekken 7 right now. So
I'm playing. I'm MK and Tekken, man. Street
I'm
Fighter was so
taking-
beast mode. That was my first fighting game.
I'm gonna go with
Proud of
Tekken.
that.
I gotta do that, but I'm gonna try to go with a fighting game like platformer type of deal. Ninja Gaiden, Xbox.
Ninja Game. That
Throwback.
was amazing, man.
You gotta narrow it down, right? You don't narrow it down.
Ah,
so you
that
gotta
was
throw
What
it.
about
good,
Soul
dude. Damn.
Calibur?
So man, anybody play Dragon the Bruce Lee story game back in the day? It was fire.
Mm-hmm. Shoot,
All right.
the Matrix video game was fire.
All right,
Hey man,
let's go to movies, man. Top 2 movies. I ain't trying to hear
Good
no
Lord.
extras. Top 2 fighting
good
movies.
lord. Dude,
Top
you
two
killing
fighting.
me.
I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna
You're
get
killing
mine. No, actually, I'm gonna let the old heads go first since I was first.
Hey,
I need top 2 movies per actor.
I'm giving
I
you
need to do
no.
it like
I'm
that.
gonna give everybody an honorable mention, so that everybody gets. I'm gonna give my honorable mention to. This is tough, y'all. I'm gonna go first to get it out the way.
I already know my 3.
My honorable
already know
mention
my
is gonna go to
three.
Me too.
Kickboxer. My honorable mention is going to Kickboxer.
I'll say my honor. I'm gonna say my honorable mention is gonna be
Top
my
bro.
honorable mention is gonna be The Matrix.
Ooh,
That's my
dang.
Honorable mention? Wow.
Dang.
I'm gonna give y'all my top 2 right now.
Oh, you ain't doing an honorable mention? No honorable mention?
Honorable mention. I'll go. I don't know. I'll go the second under the umbrella of Michael Jai White. I'll say the what you call it?
Blood and Bone.
Yeah, Blood and Bone. I'll say Blood and Bone.
Man, I ain't even really like that movie. I'm gonna be real with you.
I'll
But
say
go
Blood and
ahead.
Bone. That's my honorable mention.
All
Top
right.
2 for me is the first Undisputed and
Oh, I love
Bloodsport.
Okay.
All right, so I did my Kickboxer honorable mention. My thing that is right here is like so tough. Enter the Last Dragon and the Last Dragon. It's like, how do I put one above the other?
Wait, one of them
That's
was
the name
called
of my
only Into
podcast.
the-
That's the
it's
name
not
of my
called Into the
podcast.
Last Dragon.
I gotta put the Last
Bias.
Dragon. I gotta put the Last
It's not
Dragon.
called
I
Into
gotta
the
put
Last
Enter the
Dragon.
Dragon. Come on, man. Enter the
Bias.
Last Dragon. Duh.
Yeah,
All right, so
that's fine.
where you at, Tap? Where you at, Ted? What's up?
Wait, that was your
Enter the Dragon and the Last Dragon.
Enter the Last-
My
Dragon,
top.
Last Dragon.
I'm
all
biased.
right, so since you said that one, I can't say that one because that was one of mine. So I'm just gonna switch over to something else.
All right, we got less than a minute. So go ahead,
You
Tad.
got 1 minute. Let's go.
Hey, Roy took one of mine too. Into the Dragon's one of mine for sure. I'm gonna have to. I can't do this. Let me see. I love the Matrix.
Short time.
Can't do this. I love Blade. I'm gonna get Blade. How about that? Blade's gonna be
Cool.
my top.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And then let's see. What else is one of my top?
Tap, we
I got
30 seconds.
I got
Tap.
one for you. I got one for you. Kung Fu Hustle. I really
Okay.
like that movie.
Hard to
bro.
kill.
I'm serious, bro.
Ooh,
Kung Fu
Hard to
Hustle
Kill.
is cold to me, bro.
I'm gonna say.
Kung Fu Hustle is so cold to me, bro.
I'm
It's
gonna
about
say.
to wrap
Kung
up.
Fu Hustle
Hey,
is dope.
I'm gonna give you the Raid. I'm gonna give
Thank
you
Thank you,
my
man.
Raid, then Undisputed, and my
Hey,
honorable
for more
mention is
videos just
Rumbling.
like this, you know what to do. Make sure you click subscribe and hit that notification bell.